So I just wanted to say that I appreciate you guys all for being here. I'm in a situation, and I could really use your support as far as like just creating a GoFundMe or anything of that nature that can help me like live in what's happened to me. But I just want to talk about that devastation a little bit because it is a devastation that's created over me, and it's much like satanic ritual abusers throughout my whole history of like not being able to figure out like what is actually happening to me and where my story is going and what happened here and why did I have to deal with this, that, and the other, and it's all like nobody believes you. And it's okay, I get it, it's really hard to think that like the places that you go to for help are actually able to hurt you further, but they do. They have the powers there. And I can explain it in the short term, like when the Lord calls us to be still, He doesn't want us to go running to the lions and being deceived by, not saying that there isn't good people and well-natured people in the spirit of care, when it comes to healthcare. It's not what I'm saying at all. As a matter of fact, I'm just saying that it like legitimately is able to put you into a place that allows for said, covert criminals to go to work. And they do. I mean, it's just what happens. And you get pushed into blight, and then you're blamed for that blight. You know what I mean? You're like, people don't want to believe what you're saying to be true so much that it's just easier to say you're crazy and you don't, like, you're not someone that needs to be listened to right now. Like, you're a danger to yourself and others, you're off your medication, that type of thing. But it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what you've been discovering, that people also don't want to, like, reason to side with or, like, have any kind of repertoire of, like, value as far as, like, prayer and warrior type mission goes. Because, I mean, honestly, if the Reds go, then it's just over. I mean, it's over. If people who are the biggest threats to this kind of thing are targeted in this way and people allow them to be, I'm sorry, but you might as well go kiss your kids tonight and say, I'm sorry, I'm a little weenie. That's what I'm suggesting. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to come together for your families and your communities and the people around you to figure this stuff out. I mean, that's just what I'm trying to create here. It's not an easy topic to speak on by any stretch of the imagination, but I didn't want to find some stuff out. And I don't feel like I deserve to go through everything I did. I haven't gotten to live a day of my life, and as far as I'm concerned, because of the attacks of satanic ritual abuse, you're never allowed to your growth or your being able to build a thing or keep your own money or anything. Like, you have legitimate reason to, like, be after justice. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with crimes against you and crimes against humanity in this way, it's to silence you before you're able to do this kind of thing. And so I highly believe that the Lord has set in my belly that in a few months a fiat currency is not going to matter, and everything you're doing for it right now, as a matter of fact, isn't going to matter. What I feel is going to matter is what matters the most, I believe, is that everyone's turning to the Lord, because the Lord is calling upon all of you right now. Serious talk, real talk. The Lord is calling upon everyone right now to turn away from the evil in the world and turn to me, the Lord is saying, and to be still in the Lord in this coming of days, because I personally would rather in the end of days be praising Jesus in the first place, but that's what I've been trying to create in the first place, and then everything in my life is like constricting me from being able to do that. And like these things that I've seen before that got censored, it just tells me that because of 5G, people have these things playing back to them in real time, and they don't even know. They don't even understand that it's happening to them. because it's just like your own thoughts, your own memory, where it's just like like a day before, you could be thinking something completely different with the time that you're living in, to come to the next day, and the targets or whatever is constricting you to be able to think on other ways, constrict you to take, and it takes you away from the Christ mind that is also spoken about in the Bible. It's called Godhead. So if you want to do a search on Godhead in the King James Version Bible, it would help. And just Christ likeness, preparedness for Christ, things like that. They're just of good nature for Christ, and especially like the Revelation stuff is very prophetic, and I've been not able to understand a lot of it, but now I do understand a lot of it, and it's like calling me to reason that I am ordained as minister, I'm more ordained as sheriff, I'm ordained as a heart worker as far as this is concerned. And so I've been trying to do heart work, and then everything in the world is pulling me away from heart work, and it's trying to constrict me away from being able to work on a thing that's actually good natured for humanity, to find this stuff out, because I mean, I don't want this to be true either, you guys. I don't want like I don't want that kind of thing to be true, as like, as far as like if the world is going to come to an end or something, like none of us want that. But the fact of the matter is that these things have pushed us into devastation, and these crimes are being taken at large against us. So I just want people to understand that we aren't these devastations that are happening to us. And I can explain it because people see that because of all of the attacks that happen to you, actually do make you all like and so you're really in a bad spot, in here. And then you can't really get out anything, like you're being pushed into a place that's really hard, and it's, you got that clout, you got poisoned, like you're in a really bad way, and then all of a sudden, like, you're in a place that's supposed to be giving you care, and you're like actually being narcissistically misaligned there as well. And so I just really feel that people are supposed to be called to the Lord right now, and to be still in the Lord and to praise the Lord, because in the end of days, it says that right in the Bible that people are going to be praising the Lord. And so with what's happened to me personally, it just gets me to start questioning everything that's going on in the world, and it really puts me in a place of blight inside of my mind, where I'm like, what do I do here? Like, what do I actually do? And I'm serious. Like, I'm being called to be still because of the situation. Like, okay, I wasn't able to trust the situation back then when I fucking got my own first place. I wasn't able to trust the situation after then I was in a fourplex with some people and family even, and like things were happening there like under the radar of like my life, like serious and big time ways. And it was to like push me to like be a runner and like just to do anything and everything other than like constrict my time up with my said individual or my said person in my life at the time, so that these attacks could happen. And then yeah, like, it was brought up to me the other day, like, maybe like, would you ever consider thinking that my best friend was killed for this very reason? And I honestly think to back now that, yeah, that's a very well possibility that that's the case, in how he actually died. Like, he was a threat to me to figure things out, or something like that. So I could see that, because I wasn't able to really see things all the time, and especially at that time in my life, because I'm not only dealing with the death of a friend, the death of my grandpa at the time, and then on top of that, like, just feeling like so constricted in my actual reality with my love life, that it was just to push me like clean out of myself, like legit push me clean out of myself. So then after that place, after that place, it was constricted because, where did I go after that? Well, that was when I got knocked out of my life too. Like I couldn't continue to work, and I couldn't continue to continue. You know what I mean? And I think that was placed over me somehow as well. But either way, even if it wasn't, it was just really fucking hard. Like in general, like people like fall apart and they just can't do it. You know. And so that makes sense. That makes sense too. But you don't know all of the ins and outs of anything. But that next place, I was really pushed because that's when it was like in the it was like the long standing of that point of my relationship with her at the time, an ex girlfriend of mine, and well, I came to find out that yeah, I think that it could be. I was like in the basement of the house, like of her house, thinking like this computer was left on and something is not right. You know, like it was meant for me to look on here. I didn't. But it was meant for me to take up my time to like look for something there other than look somewhere else or what have you. I don't know. There's no reason for the computer to be on with no one to be in the house. And me like legitimately trying to discover the same thing that I was like just had discovered now, you know, being true. And then you think back to all of my relationships, all of my blight, and every single one has that same attack in it. And so I feel like these have been patterns in my life that consist of a well-regulated plot to murder me now. It was always just to try and push me into blight, to say that or suggest that problem's just going to go take care of itself. You know what I mean? And that's oftentimes what happens when you see what happens on Facebook when Facebook came about and there was all the bullying going on, and then the suicide rate was like, oh, here it's already on an incline, and then here comes Facebook. And it's just it's just fucking a rocket, you know. So I've been trying to work on creating a better network and stuff like that, and because of such things, I think I'm just a little bit, I'm an overachiever, I guess I would consider it being, not that, you know, the faces and the structures that you see me as being pushed inside of such devastation that's supposed to be me, and that's the you know what I mean? They're not seeing like a baseline person behind that legitimately just wants to create his ministries and do work hard on a thing that I've been building with the Lord. And it's a formidable thing that I'm out here asking for people for money, because I don't get to live a regular life. I can't just go to work and go get a regular job and such things, because they don't understand when you're anointed with the Spirit, and on top of it you are actually discovering things. I've been in blight. I've been coming to people saying something is happening to me. They don't want to believe me. It actually is happening to me. Do you know what I mean? And then because people are just pushed into such doubt, or else they're just pushed into such whatever, that is unable to get us on the same page as the Bible and the King James Bible basically tells us, to come to the same page for each other in prayer. And so that's what I'm trying to create with as well, with this network. I mean, just for my own sake. But people can take it for how they want, and I just know it's not like how people are saying it, because in the times that we're living in, and what things I've seen, if you've seen the things I've seen, and you know the things that I've seen to be true, or you even think of them to be true halfway, you should really be coming together for your own, and not thinking that anything else is going to help save us to live a full life. You know what I mean? I think the only way that we're actually going to do that is if we can get through this. And it's rough, you guys. I mean, these people have been doing and planting both sides of every war since Napoleon's day. And that's how they work. And when you discover these things, you're being preyed upon with all of your data and all of your shit to be pushing you into isolation and away from people that can actually be able to help you. You see what I mean? And so I really think these things because with what's happened to me, it's not me going and drawing the line or me going and standing on the line. It's that line was just drawn on me, and the line that was just drawn on me was like everything from my past, legit making sense now. That was like to fly over my head to leave me to die here in the end. I'm still alive, praise the Lord. And then on top of it, it's like the Lord is really telling me, like in my belly, like I pray, like the prayer that matters is praying, Lord, none of my vessel matters because of what's going on here, and I want to be a good steward in the Lord for you, Lord. And so remove my personal earthly belly and instead add your belly into me, because I know that the Lord would want best for us. And so the Lord wanting that best for us and praying it in fervently in the name of Jesus Christ, these are the ways that things happen, folks. Regardless of what these brainless morons want to think out here, because they have the attention span of a 6-year-old and they don't care about what we're saying. So let them have the attention span of a 6-year-old and not want to take it to the places that it needs to be taken to. Do you see what I'm saying? But I mean, if you just want to be in the Sodom and Gomorrah and go eat your McDonald's in front of your TV programming and take the medications, I'm not saying that these things can't be prayed against as far as what they're actually doing to us, but what I am suggesting is that it's taking you away from being an original person. You see what I'm saying? And those things, to be an original person, should matter to you the most, because if they don't matter to you the most, then who are you? You're going to let someone else define you your whole life? And like, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm letting people define me now with my findings inside of the world, the actual world, and I'm sorry, I just don't have it within me to not call out these narcissists for where they are and for who they are. And so I'm not going to be sitting there with a narcissist and then all of a sudden not see it. If I'm praying in that way, I'm getting answered, I should say. I should say, instead of praying in that way, or like saying that's the case, or saying that you can do these things and that the Lord can answer you, it's to suggest that the Lord has answered me. You see what I'm saying? And then they can suggest then that you're schizo, or you're labeled as crazy, or whatever they want to say. Pull up the DSM manual. I'm sure every single thing in there is me. Me and you, as far as like being in the Lord is concerned, or like being a regular human being. Just wanted to be like yourself and grow without the ability of hackers, people to take your spirit and do one of these with it. Because that's going to cause you anxiety inside. And that's what you're doing when you're going around the wolves and you're going around the things that we don't understand are actually there to control our minds, or to rather program them to what to think, instead of us being able to think for ourselves. And then so people get censored. I got hacked. Like, I have no reach that I used to be able to have, like, just a year and a half ago or whatever. And then on top of it, like, I had probably 45 people or better that I legit, like, wanted to at least, like, reach out to still. You know what I mean? And all of that just gone. And they don't have a way to get a hold of me either. They don't have a way to get a hold of me either. And I don't want anyone to trust that. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to trust that, because the hacker that got that stuff and my old number and everything it was my close friend. He was my close friend, and that is exactly how he's been moving, because he's been, I don't know, it's just weird. That's all. It's just his own weird, sexual deviancy. I better get through this, man. If this 469th attack doesn't happen, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm just giving you an example, of like somebody in that mind frame that would do that. I've never once, I mean, I thought about it before, but I'm like, I don't want to learn this shit. I wouldn't want to learn that shit. I want to go to work on some reasonable stuff and do real stuff. And as far as people like going to bunkers and everything like that, I'm fine with it if you're a decent human being. But if you're just going down there to like suffocate the humanity, you think you're gonna get away with anything, or you have reason to run. I mean, it's in the Bible already. You're not gonna get away with it. And then, I mean, just the need for these people to fuck up your life, it leaves you in devastation. Like, and I don't think if people can't see and put two and two together there for me in that situation, like he's fine. He's not. How would you suggest it? He's not a DSM manual thing. He has actually legitimacy of something going on here. Like, he's being pushed into devastation. If you're not able to see how the hackers design of someone, your own friend, that could be a sexual deviant, oh fuck. I mean, bless this man, oh Lord. He's lost. But that's what we should be asking for everybody that's not in spirit. And legitimately, it's the only way I think that we're going to break through is if we can get people in the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of the one Creator, the one God that created all of us here. Every man, woman, and child that's here alive today has been created by the dear Lord in heaven. And so I think that without humanity being able to see that, come together as that, and be one in that love, when we're fucked. And right now, with what's going on in the world, I mean, they're just selling faggotry, like it's running out of business, and they're selling people on the LGBTQ community and bark all over the fucking internet, and like, well, I self-identify as a kitty cat, so I don't have a license. Oh, you want me to bring you to the pound? I mean, if you don't want to be a human being, hand me your license. Like, I don't know. Just people are running rampant with this stuff, and it's really ruined the world. And if you can't see that, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it has. It's ruined people's hearts. It's ruined people's minds. And the last, like, real kind of rapping that was going on was, like, Tupac just, like, legitimately, like, screaming out for help with the civil rights movement that was honorable. And then anything you do like that has to deal with these people that are like, because honestly, I wouldn't want to sign to no label either. I'd be like, fuck your label. No, thank you. I mean, people can think whatever they want, but I know that if it all came down to brass taxes and I was able to be set in front of a nice studio with a nice microphone and I was actually able to start creating from here, yeah. I don't even care how much my fan support went to, but I'd have a fan support and my music would be amazing. And so, with me just being constricted on my whole life, it's just satanic, let's say abuse him here. Let's just make sure he's all fucked up here and there and everywhere. If we can't figure it out, I don't know, man. I guess he's just gonna have to find out. Well, I did find out. And it is. It's much like a fucking motherfucker turned into a bunny rabbit all over my fucking love life, all over my financial life, all over my computer, all over my phone, all over my DoorDash ability, all over my any ability, all over my work ability, and every which way. Well, and if it's not just solely him, it's not solely him, but I'm just saying that through the hacker's design, and through the person that's going to be the person to hack you in that way, then, yeah, I'm sorry, but you're going to be found out about in the spirit of the Lord, regardless. All these people aren't going to just sweep all their pedophilia under the rug and go, podunky over here, we'll podunky over here. Oh, they're coming after us over here, we better podunky over here. I mean, what are these people thinking they're going to do? You're going to run from the Lord? Is that what you're going to do? So we're just in devastation out here because it's a devastation that's created. And look, I didn't pay money for the internet to learn that my world was bad. My world was just bad. I didn't I didn't I didn't go come into this world to learn things that I learned just growing up, or have to be constricted into the thought process that I really have to be able to see clear through, like what people's intentions are with me, what they're not with me, all that kind of stuff. These things put you in a spirit of blight, they put you in a spirit of doubt, and they're taking you away from the spirit of the Lord. So I'm sorry, but I would rather in the end of times be praising the Lord. So if you want to come praise the Lord with me, you're welcome. Otherwise, I don't know. Good luck. And I think you should go kiss your children on the forehead and really think about what your activities are.